21st of January 2025. In this edition of Quo Vadis, I'm going to ask the question, where is Europe going to? Now, I want to make it clear. What I'm recording here is my personal view and my personal interpretation of the things that I see happening. I have no intention of degrading or demeaning anybody or any person or what. I'm seeing a set of things happening in the world, and I'm going to tell you how I interpret that. I'm a South African Boer. I'm Afrikaans speaking. I'm a conservative guy, a Christian, and I deeply depend on the guidance from the Holy Spirit. That is who I am. And you need to understand that so that you can understand where I come from when I say the things that I say. And my question is, where is Europe going? But not really where is Europe going. Where are the Europeans going? The white race is about 8% of the world population. And there's not a single race in the world that is being discriminated against as that minority white race. The white race must endure unbelievable racist attacks. You cannot say that you are proud to be white, then you're a racist. If you set up an organization for whites only, you're breaking laws. But the blacks can do that, all of those things. So you have to understand that there is an onslaught on the white race as such. Now this white race consists of many tribes, and I've spoken a lot about tribes in my Skidmarks, and the Christian part of the white race is especially selected for punishment. Now, I'm not going to go back hundreds of years in history because this plan has been coming for centuries to wipe the whites out. But let's just look at the last 100 years. And in 1927, a certain specimen whose surname starts with a K, which I can no longer use on YouTube, published a plan in which he clearly laid out the route that they have to take to demolish the white people. Now, that plan, at the time of publication, a lot of people thought it was crazy. But that plan is actually being executed. And the main aim of that plan was to destroy the white race by interbreeding. Now, if you go and you look what happened to Europe in the recent years, there was a well-orchestrated plan to flood Europe with immigrants, non-white immigrants. And what was very clear, they were all military-aged young men, very few women and children among them. Why was that? Well, they had a plan. That plan to get rid of the white race. Now, I'm specifically talking about Western Europe. And you know what is going on in those countries. Many of the cities, the original people from that region is no longer the majority, they're minority. And Europeans was used to this. This is the type of environment in which they were living. An environment where in front of that shop will be a table with newspapers on it and a little bowl, and you take your paper and you put the money in there and you go. An environment where you will go into the rural areas and you'll get past the farm and there will be a farm stall with products in it and a bowl. You take what you want, you put the money in the bowl and you go. That's the Europe that used to be. Today, you know it cannot happen because this tranquil scene has been turned into this. And this is what Europeans are now encountering. It's part of their daily lives, actually. Everything that they thought was part of their civilization, has been destroyed. But the thing that bothers me the most is if you look at this image, look at this image. These are the hunters. They're hunting. And what are they hunting? This is the prey. That is the prey. Because according to that plan, interbreeding is the way how they're going to wipe the white population out. Now the European women are the prey. And unfortunately, due to many things, which I'm not going to discuss, men in Europe, most of them are no longer men. They're gender confused. They don't know what the fuck a man is. They don't know what a woman is. Crap like that. And when their woman is attacked by these barbarians, those men are incapable of protecting the woman. And that is a sad thing, because if you look at how things are developing in Europe, and it's developing at a hell of a rate, women are the prey. Now, many people are going to be upset about me saying that, but that's the facts and that's the reality. You go to a country like Poland and Hungary, they don't allow immigrants into those countries. They don't. And the EU is against them. Now, let's talk about Europe and the Europeans. The Bolsheviks killed basically 25 to 27, some people say 40 million European people, white people, was killed by them. And then the First World War came, and the Second World War was the big killer of, again, millions of whites were killed in those wars. And the tragedy is they were killed by white people. But all those wars were fought with men and women from the population that has been brainwashed into believing that they are fighting for a cause. Meanwhile, they were fighting for the financial powers. That's all. It was all about money. Now, I did a Skidmark which is published on Rumble for reasons. When you look at it, you'll understand why I couldn't publish it on YouTube. And that Skidmark, I explained to you my concept of triple X, which is behind all the shit that we have to take today. But I'm saying again, the Europeans must understand that the plans has been made long ago to wipe the white race out. And the white men, over a long period, has been fed food and medication to break down their masculinity. Because if you look at this image, this is us, the white people's ancestors. These guys running in these streets don't stand a chance against these men. But unfortunately, these men are now in a minority, and society actually looks down on them degradingly so. But they are the only ones that can prevent this from happening. And they are the ones that can be a safe harbor for these fleeing girls. You have to think about this. This is a sinister, evil fucking plan. But your biggest problem, most probably, is you do not understand the depth of the evilness of the controllers of your world. You don't understand that. And I'm going to say it to you. Unless you reconnect to God, the Creator, and do that connection spiritually and personally, you are not going to survive the onslaught of the evil gang. You're not going to. Because even religion has been infected and infested by Satan. Dogma and doctrine runs the show. And a guy stands on a pulpit and tells you how you should believe and who you should believe in, instead of you talking directly to your Creator. that spiritual connection. That is what will ensure your survival. And the XXX gang knows it, and all the machinery has been placed in place perfectly to destroy and destruct spirituality. You have to think about that. And I'm going to throw this in just as an afterthought. In the late 50s, they started telling you we should use fluoride because it's good for our teeth. What they didn't tell you is that the evil plan behind the fluoride was fluoride calcify the pineal gland. And it is the pineal gland that forms the connection between you and the spiritual world. So, they blocked your spiritual port. And I see Trump has now apparently outlawed the use of fluoride in the drinking water in America. Will it be in time or is it too late? I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, if you do not re-establish your spiritual connection to God the Creator, you're going to have a rough time. And this image of these three fleeing girls, this is Europe's future. Actually, it is their current situation already. Look at what that Starmer did in England, protecting the rape gangs and throwing the victims under the bus. Europeans, let that sink in and understand. If you stand in front of the mirror and you are a white European, you must understand that the plans are in place to wipe you out. And it is being executed all over the place. And what is most disturbing is that it is white people that are doing most of the planning. They are the ones that lay down the tracks for that fucking train to come down to destroy you. I don't know how they think they are going to survive in the end, but then you must understand a strong, big component in these white planners are from XXX, that first X. They believe that they are the chosen race. They can survive. All others must go. Let that sink in on this morning. And I'm going to leave you with this image again. Look at what you are seeing there. That is the future. Actually, that is already happening. And you need to re-establish your spiritual connection with God the Creator. Do it, or you're going to suffer. Please give me a like and a subscribe and share the thing. Thank you for your support.